It's not easy to balance work, worship and family in the month of Ramadan, more so in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. But as human beings, we have responsibilities and we will be rewarded for everything we do in terms of what we're supposed to be doing. We have to get up. Sometimes we have a school run, sometimes we have to go to work, and we may not have slept well because we had to get up for suhoor. We may not have had a rest. We have to work. We are staying away from food and drink. We have to come back from work. We have to pray while we're at work. We have to perhaps prepare for iftar. We might have to go to the masjid, come back. All of this, take it in your stride. You will be rewarded for it. Don't overdo one and neglect the others. If you have to work, you have to work. If you have family, you have to fulfill their rights, and sometimes it is compulsory. Certain things are fard upon you. You have to do it. If you are not going to do it, who is going to do it? You know, one of the most amazing things, Allah Almighty always speaks about being charitable, and He always speaks about being charitable at home, and then the relatives and the circle becomes bigger and bigger. If you look at putting a morsel of food in the mouth of your spouse, that hadith that speaks about it, saying that that's a charity, is so powerful, because to put a morsel of food, you need to have the morsel of food. To get that morsel of food, you need to go out and earn. To earn, you need to work, and you're going to need to bring back some money and go and purchase. So it's a whole thing. All of that together makes the charity. So it's not easy, but some people think, this is Ramadan, let me just switch off completely and engage in ibadah. Hang on. That is also ibadah. Going to work is also ibadah. Looking after your family is also ibadah. These are different types of ibadah. So are you switching off one or two ibadah to just do one other ibadah, and so on? It's different if you're an imam of the masjid and you need to dedicate more time for the Quran because you have to lead the prayers or something, and you want to dedicate a little bit more time, but still have some time for your family. Set aside a portion. Your work has to happen, whether you like it or not. Maybe in your lunch break, you can do something constructive. You can read some Quran a little bit more. Maybe, for example, you might want to ask those whom you work for, or if it's your own business, it's a little bit different, to adjust your timing to make it a bit more suitable. They may and they may not. So navigating through all of that is part of your designed acts of worship by Allah for you. Don't run away from it. Take it in your stride. Do it to the best of your ability. Ramadan is a month where you will suffer fatigue. You will be tired. You might not be healthy. Your immune system might drop a little bit. And sometimes if you know how to manage it, it becomes so much easier. Unfortunately, in some countries, during some seasons, the fast is very long. You know what? You're going to have to fast. That's part of Allah's plan. And if you fast, you have to know how to do it, what to eat. I have found that the less you eat in Ramadan, the more energized you are and the less hungry you actually feel. And when you want to fill yourself with everything and you haven't thought about how you're going to eat, what you're putting first into your mouth, what you're putting next into your mouth, then you cannot manage it. So let's talk about what you're going to put in your mouth. Do you know it's a sunnah to break your fast with water and some dates? Water and dates. What we do, we have water and dates, but with that we have fries, we have pastries, we have savories, the most unhealthy things to put in your mouth. We put it as soon as we open our fast, as though we have to just, become gluttons. Astaghfirullah. And we have to pack ourselves, so much so we cannot even get up for Salatul Maghrib. A few days ago, I was thinking when I was opening my fast that imagine we stayed hungry all day, 13 to 14 hours, depending on where you are, a little bit more, a little bit less. And in 2 or 3 minutes, we're already full. In 2 or 3 minutes, this belly is full. You're getting up for Salatul Maghrib and you're standing there thinking, I can't really have much more. I just had a glass of water, some dates, a little bit of yogurt, maybe with some bread. Subhanallah. And what happened? I'm full. So what was that all about? We put up so much food and we order so much sometimes if we're ordering, because we're ordering with our eyes. That's what it is. The minute you see it and you're excited, that's it. You can't really eat much. Don't waste food. Have less in Ramadan. I know we're in the final stretch, but that does not mean we should not listen to this advice and start putting it into practice, even for next Ramadan or whenever we fast. Suhoor, the early morning meal, it's a sunnah. But it's not a sunnah to eat so much. What did the Prophet ﷺ have? Again, dates, water, a little bit of low GI, what we would call today low GI food, a little bit of it, and you're done. You're ready to go for the rest of the day by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The minute you're going to pack yourself with so much of food, you mess up your health in the month of Ramadan. So looking after your health, your work, your family, your worship, You need to strike the correct balance. Make sure you don't spend too much time preparing the meals. Some of the men blackmail some of the women and they say, you get such a great reward to prepare the meals. And you get more reward than reading the Quran. I heard someone say, I was told you get a bigger reward than Hajj. And I'm thinking, whoa, where did they blackmail these people from? No, you have a good meal, mashallah, you do get a reward. Indeed, you get a massive reward, whoever is going to prepare the meal, because preparing the meal, you get a reward for all those who have fasted and they're going to break their fast with that meal. So that's a bonus, just for you to know that if you've prepared an iftar and they have an iftar by something you have given, you get a full reward for their fasts. So the person who prepared the meal gets a reward for about 10 people fasting, 20 people fasting, more, sometimes less. That's the bonus. And I tell you, when I said this to some of the men started saying, we're going to cook. Oh, good news, right? May Allah Almighty make it easy for all of us. But the point I'm raising is you do get a reward, but you have to set aside a time for Quran, set aside a time for dhikr, try and have a little bit of a timetable, have a routine. Allah loves it. Have a routine. Every day I'm going to do this. I was talking to a friend of mine. He told me, when I have a routine and I know what I'm going to do, I achieve so much because I have this lesson. I want to listen to this lecture. I will listen to this series. I will read this much Quran. I will do this much here. When I go to work, I'll do this. I've got this to do, that to do, and that's my day. So you have a focus around that routine. You may sometimes change a little bit here and there, but generally that's the focus. Allah loves it. And when you have that beautiful routine, you will be able to achieve so much more, and you will be able to strike the right balance between your work, your health, your eating, your family, your worship. Everything comes into focus, and you give each one the portion that it deserves, bearing in mind that regarding worship, the bonus is all of the other things that are done, if they are done with the correct intention, they are all acts of worship that you will be rewarded for. May Allah Almighty multiply our rewards during these days of Ramadan. This final stretch is indeed something we need to take seriously. أقول قولي هذا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد.
قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.